life, right, knowing that the next moment not only is not promised to you, but the next moment is going to be different from the moment before. And that is how you need to go through life. Always willing to create change, right? Now, I found it for me a whole lot easier to be the catalyst for creating change as opposed to allowing change to come my way, right? Allowing change to create me, right? To create who I am. I like to try to direct as much as possible. And that means making some sound decisions. And that means following a path from people who have already been down that path. And this is so important for you guys to understand, because there's nothing new being created out there. There's reiterations of old things, made it better, or made it whatever, different, but it's still all the same things that are being created each and every day. So I tell people, you have to know how to create change in your life, right? And that is important. So one of the questions that my mentor asked me when it came to creating change in my life was and it had to do with my environment and the people that I was around, because they weren't changers, right? They were the type of people who fought tooth and nail not to change. They wanted everything to be status quo, everything to stay the same. It was crazy, because so many of them said to me years and years and years ago that this is what we did back when I started, and we've always done it this way. And this comes in a time where law enforcement needed change. Law enforcement demanded change. The world needed law enforcement to be different, and the people that I was around said, well, this is how we always done it. And so every time somebody tried to implement change, they got crushed by the masses. Every time somebody tried to institute something different that was helpful, they got crushed by the masses. They got blackballed. And so it wasn't until I rose up to the rank of lieutenant and had tons of people under me that I was even allowed to do any type of changes that I wanted. And that was very, very difficult. In my position, and in the position that I was before as a manpower sergeant in charge of large troops of people and on the task force and stuff, people did not believe in open encouragement. And so I would go out there and I would encourage people over the radio. And people would get angry that I did it, and I just kept at it anyway. I think I even got written up one time by a lieutenant for speaking inappropriately on the radio, because I told everybody that the officer of the day was whoever he was at the time, and he had this, and this, a couple of things that he did, and the lieutenant got mad because I said it over the radio. But I was giving praise. And he wasn't going to stop me from giving praise, right? You have to learn how to congratulate and encourage people in public, right? And then you discipline them in private. That's important, right? You don't try to embarrass people. And they have it totally and completely backwards, in law enforcement. They kind of try to embarrass you in public and put your business out there, and then you get an award or on accolades, accommodation or whatever, and then it's like nobody knows about it. Hey, meet me in the office. I got something to give you. Hey, here you go. Great job. Get out there and keep plugging at it. And I believe something totally different, guys. I believe that you need to encourage people, if they're working for you or working under you. And encourage them more and more as they lean deeper into the mission, right? So as they lean deeper into the mission, you need to encourage them and allow them to see how important that mission is. That's what encouragement does. So my mentor said something to me, guys. I'm gonna get back to the point I was making about your actions. He said, "Do you find yourself not able to move until you see the crowd? Till you see what the crowd is going to do next, right?" So that crowd mentality. A lot of people are plagued with the crowd mentality. A lot of people are crowd followers, the crowd momentum. They feel something, they want to do something about that something, but they will not act until everybody else acts, and they want to see what everybody else is doing. And so that crowd mentality is not a thinker's mentality. And I'm trying to get you guys to be thinkers when it comes to doing things in your life and making the life that you want. I'm trying to get you to be thinkers. So in being a thinker, it's very, very hard for you to listen to a mentor if you are following the crowd mentality. So my mentor asked me this question because he needed to know where I was at mentally. And emotionally, right? I did find myself being pulled toward the crowd when the crowd was acting. I did find myself wanting to jump on board to a cause without questioning why I was jumping on board. And that is key, guys. That is key to making change in your life. You need to question that, right? You need to question, what are they doing? Why are they doing it? And why am I into what they're doing? Now, if you're into what they're doing, then fine. Go all in, man. As a matter of fact, you should have been the leader as opposed to the follower. You should have started that movement, but you didn't. So, hey, give it all. Go all in. But if you have never questioned why you are doing what you're doing, then I suggest you take a moment, pause, and question why you're following the crowd. Why you feel comfortable moving when that crowd is moving. Is it that you're afraid to be an outcast in that crowd of people? Are they your friends? That is important. The next question that my mentor asked me was, are you the type of individual that gains comfort through following the masses? Right? You're afraid to just be out there on your own. You're afraid to find your own voice. You're afraid to speak your own message. Right? My mentor needed to know this from me before he began to teach me some of the tricks of the trade to help me to create the life that I want. He wanted to know that if he invested all of this time in me, was I going to be pulled away by the comfort of what the masses said or how they felt? Because I told you, he asked hard questions. And when he asked those hard questions, a lot of people moved away from him so that they didn't have to answer that. So they wouldn't have to face the man in the mirror, which was themselves, about the question that he asked. Because all of his questions dug deep, right? You didn't have to answer those questions out loud, right? But just hearing those questions made you think of what type of person are you? Right, when it comes to creating the life that you want, what type of person are you, and can you create that life that you want if you're always running behind what everybody else is doing? That's right, that is powerful, that is key, guys. So he asked me that question, and I had to answer it. And I guess I did. I gained some comfort in following the masses, right? That's me. I got my fly swatter today, guys. I'm killing bugs. But following the masses. And so that needed to change. And he told me, he said, well, that needs to change. Right? He said, I want you to start being comfortable with being uncomfortable. Right? And when he said that, being comfortable with being uncomfortable, I automatically got uncomfortable hearing what he just said to me. I was afraid, guys. I was afraid of that feeling of being uncomfortable. And so it took some time for me to develop the feeling of being